and welcome to the little mini interview series that I am doing with my gorgeous, beloved companions on this journey. And one of them I have a very, very, very special place for in my heart is the lovely, lovely Gemma Bliss. Hello.
Hello, thank you so much for having me, Tiff. It's lovely to be here.
It's so lovely to connect with you. I mean, I connected with Gemma back in 2011, I think it was, when you came to review one of my retreats in Cornwall, and I just fell in love with you from that moment. You were just definitely one of those people that were just a gift to have in my life. It was like, oh, thank you, life, for bringing such gorgeous soul into my life. So, guys, I'm bringing her to you now.
Thanks. Wow, that was a polish and a half.
It's very true, and I love sharing people with people, and that's quite a lot of what my clients say. You know, like when they come on a program with me, the connections that they get with people is profound. It's like it opens up a door, not just within them, but like to a whole load of people that we don't necessarily get that connection with in our day-to-day life. And you know, there's a hunger for it, you know, that sense of authenticity and coming back to ourselves, and people that kind of get that, and you know, people that have kind of been awake to that. And you are definitely one of those. So I am so happy that you have decided to come on today and talk about your journey, because Gemma is going to be doing a special class on the yoga. Is it chair yoga for the heart chakra? Is that?
Yes, well, it's Kundalini yoga, and I'm thinking that it will be in this environment, this kind of
right.
Zoom environment. So yes, on the chair, and we'll take it from there.
Wonderful. And it's going to be focused on opening the heart chakra.
Opening the heart wide open, yes.
Beautiful. So Gemma is going to be doing that for my Inner Transformation Circle members. So if you are already one of those, you will have that coming up this month. And then if you're not already one of those, there'll be a button below here where you can sign up and join and have access to the beautiful Gemma. But we're going to talk a little bit about what brought you to Kundalini yoga, Gemma, because you had quite a transformation, didn't you, going on?
Yes, massive transformation. So I have been on this spiritual journey for quite some time, and worked in the magazine industry, lucky enough to work on the spiritual side of the magazine industry. So that was a good thing. And I got into yoga actually way before that, when I was an air hostess, before all of this happened. And yoga is a very beautiful practice that, despite all the chaos that's happening in your life, it really brings you home to you. And that's what I was looking for, especially being an air hostess, flying all over the world between time zones. It was quite an ungrounding job. The yoga really helped to anchor me down, and it helped with the jet lag. It helped with so many things. And I went on a bit of a journey through yoga, many different kinds of yoga, staying with a style for a year or two, and then moving on to the next one and the next one, until finally, quite by accident, I came across Kundalini yoga. Kundalini yoga isn't as big in England as Hatha. Hatha's the bendy wendy yoga. That's the one that you see, kind of the stereotypical yoga. Kundalini yoga is quite different in that we do it with our eyes closed. It's more meditative. So it's really about going inside and taking that journey inside into awareness within. And my God, is it transformational. It on a very instantaneous level, it completely switches your energy just by using the breath, by using movement, by using mantra and the mind's focus. And in life at large, it tends to move in very beautiful ways. As the Kundalini rises, this beautiful change starts to really sink into life and really soak in. So yes, it's an incredible practice, and I feel really lucky to share it.
and I can really feel just your passion on it. I've been sat here and it's like electric bolts going through my crowd as you were speaking. So
Oh, cool.
yeah, and I've done Kundalini yoga, but I'm going to speak for those people that maybe find yoga difficult. I am definitely one of those. Even though I go to hatha yoga a couple of times a week, it's taken me years to be okay with the fact that my body doesn't do what I want it to do. So I have problems with my hips, for instance. When I was born, I was one of those girls that needed to be double nappied. Have you heard of those? The girls with very
yes
hips. Apparently that's why we love yoga so much, because we're usually very good at it, because we're very
yes
flexible. Yeah, not me. So, and I didn't get double nappied, and so I cannot sit with my legs crossed. And now I'm 40 as well, and arthritis is really kicking in there, and my range of opening my hips is about that much. It's really bad. And people said to me for years, oh, Tiffany, just do yoga and it will help. But it never did, because it's actually a bone issue.
yes.
And so now when I go to the class, I'm the only one that sits with my legs out in front, and I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
And it's like, actually, this is better for me just to go and do what I can, rather than the results of not going. And actually I feel more peace, even though I can't do that. It's been a real journey of self-acceptance.
Yes.
My journey of yoga. And I've done Kundalini a couple of times, and as I say, I'm one of the people that doesn't feel it that easily. Yoga doesn't come to me that easily. But Kundalini yoga, I loved the way that you just spoke about it. For me, the challenge is that my body is so stiff, not just my hips, but like everywhere. It's not good. That it's almost intensifies that feeling of yoga for me, in a way of like, oh my God, now I really have to get past the fact massively that my body is just like, it's so tired, it's so achy. And I just end up going into that world quite a lot. So actually to hear you talk about, Kundalini, I've never heard it actually spoken about. I've heard Hatha being spoken about, but I've not heard Kundalini being spoken about. I've experienced the practice, and I've found it really difficult on a physical level, but then I find yoga very difficult anyway. But to hear you speak about Kundalini and how it really takes you into yourself, I was like, oh wow, yes, no, I get that now, because it really, in a way, I feel like it magnifies. It's like a magnified type of yoga now that I'm simplifying it completely as a novice. But am I on the right kind of track in that sense, would you say?
From my experience, yes, it has taken the effects of the other forms of yoga, and it feels a lot more intense. It's very fast in the way that it works. And I think this struggle with our body, really the word yoga is yoking the finite self with the infinite self. So it's blending your little me, or introducing your little me to your big me. So anything that you do that creates that connection, that expansion, that's yoga. So it doesn't necessarily mean you have to sit cross-legged and close your eyes and meditate for 50 years. It's any practice that will take you closer to that connection with your God, with your goddess, with your divinity. Wow. For me, definitely that's what Kundalini does. Kundalini itself is a bit of a strange word for some people. I think it scares people off, because we've all heard of those Kundalini psychosis and Kundalini rising in a very scary and unpredictable way. And that's very much a phenomenon. But Kundalini yoga has a great respect for the Kundalini energy, which is a metaphor for your God essence. It's that massive voltage of energy that is hugely, it's beyond this tiny little body. So Kundalini Yoga strengthens the nervous system. It strengthens all of the systems. It balances the glands, clears out the nerve channels, so you can hold that energy. So, and it's never, you don't fry yourself with Kundalini Yoga unless, you've taken quite a few drugs in your life and your nerve system's a bit shot.
Right.
You can still build on that. If you have, dabbled in drugs, you can definitely use Kundalini Yoga to strengthen your nervous system again, to hold that energy. But really, it's about strengthening us to step into our full divine energy, to really step up to our potential.
Every time you speak about it, I get that voltage.
Now, that's what we're talking about.
Like the zigzag on your shawl, it's like so yeah, I can't wait to do your class on that kind of heart opening. It's going to be amazing. And again, particularly for like people like me that are asthmatic, I expect that's going to have a real clearing effect there with the heart chakra going on. And
very much so,
to know that we can do something when we're sat down, because how often are we sat down these days in front of our computer? My cat is so jealous of my laptop that she's learned to be a parrot and sit on my shoulder, because otherwise she doesn't get a look in, bless her. That's how much we're sat down these days.
Yes.
So wow. Yes. You're going to show us how flexible it can be in terms of getting it into our life.
Yes.
It's
about using the breath. Your breath is your prana. It's your life force energy in yoga teachings. And it's taking that life force energy deep into the body. We only breathe up to halfway through our lungs. There's all that space at the bottom of the lungs that just has stagnant breath in it. So we're going to cleanse all of that out, and we're going to move that prana deep into the body. And once that prana is in there, it ignites the body's capacity to heal itself. So really, it pulls it all in. In that place, you can really open up and just let yourself be. And Kundalini Yoga, we'll be working with mantras, sacred mantras, or chanting. So get ready to get your voice out. And we'll be doing some movements as well, just to loosen up the body, to create space in the body, to receive that energy. But yes, I'm looking forward to it too. I think it's going to be wonderful.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my goodness, I can't wait. And, people are sometimes a little bit kind of worried about chanting. Do you feel like that sometimes puts people off if you say that there is chanting? Do you find that or not?
In some cases, I expect it, because in the West, there's a real stigma on chanting. And it's such a shame, because chanting, all of us need work on the throat. And chanting really helps to open that up. And I think a lot of the fear and a lot of the inhibition that comes is because of this kind of, we haven't been able to speak our truth, or to speak up, or to really voice our needs, or be heard, whatever it is. So I think if you have resistance to chanting, that's more reason to do it, because you need to work with this. You need to break through those blocks in the throat, and also shove aside the fear and the inhibitions, because if you give yourself a chance to feel how it is to vibrate with those mantras, with those sacred sounds, it's an incredible sensation. A mantra, it has the potential to completely change the vibrations in your body. So just chant it a couple of times and you'll see a difference. You chant the word Om, that divine syllable that vibrates with all that is. Just chant it 3 times and see how you feel. It's beautiful. And when we'll be chanting together in our session, it's in the very nice little bubble of our own home. So you have that permission to really belt it out. And the more you belt it out from the heart, the better it is.
And also some people might be there thinking, well, it's Zoom, I could mute myself if I wanted to, and so nobody else could hear me, and then I can just chant without the worry of being heard. How would you feel about if they did that? Would that be something that you would encourage if they were feeling difficult about chanting, or would it be something that you would encourage them to actually be heard?
I would encourage to be heard. Really, it's not about how beautiful we sound. It is not about prettiness here. It's about letting this beautiful being speak for itself. We make whatever we make, and it's beautiful whatever it is. I'm completely off tune, but you know, it doesn't matter. It's not about that. It's really about just letting yourself vibrate. And if you're really stressed about it, of course, go ahead and mute. But if you feel that you might be able to come back in, then click that unmute and come back in and join us.
Yeah, I really get you. And it's quite interesting what you say about us in the West, you know, not being heard, like, because I've been in Spain for 16 months and I've just come back. You know, you really start kind of looking at cultural differences. And my husband also had a trip to Iceland, and we've got this theory that the further north you go, the more polite it gets. So
Yeah.
you know, Spain is very loud and they don't care if it's like 2 or 3 in the morning. And they're very direct. Oh, the amount of Spanish people that told me off, you know, I was so not used to it. It's like this is verbal abuse, don't you know? Didn't really understand what they were saying, you know, which was kind of a good thing, I think. It's probably why they told me off in the first place, totally oblivious like the fool in the Harry world. So anyway, oh dear. Well, at the same time, my husband went, not for 16 months, but he went to Iceland, and he had a real experience there where if you were crossing the road, the cars would stop for you, even if you looked like you were about to cross. You know, it was like, would you like to pass by? And in the pub, they were in a pub one evening, and there were some graduates that had just passed their, you know, they just graduated from university, and they were drunk, and they came up to my husband and people he was with, and they said, "We are very sorry. We are students that have just graduated, and we are a bit drunk. So if we are annoying you in any way, we do apologize, and please do come and let us know." You know, so this polite thing, like being back in England, I'm seeing people at dinner complaining that their dinner isn't good enough in a restaurant, and then like the waiter comes along. Is everything okay? It's like, yes, it's wonderful. Thank you. You know, we're not used to it, are we? We can't let our needs be met. There's this polite falseness in
Very
it.
much so, yes.
Mm.
And that, I think, if we work on the throat and we work on vibrating our truth, and you can do that with mantra, there's a safe space for you to do it. You have the sacred sounds, it's all given to you. Technology is there to really bring it out and heal all of that. So it's good work, this chanting.
I can't wait.
Yes.
That sounds fantastic. In terms of I was going to say, in terms of, you know, if we look at, I think a lot of us in this spiritual world feel like we should be doing so much. Like if I did everything that I should be doing every day, I think I would need the whole day. You know, the whole day would just be committed every day to my spiritual.
Yes, wouldn't that be nice?
Exactly, you know, and we are in the West, and we are not in a monastery or somewhere else, an ashram or things like that. And you know, it's like, for me, my morning practice has to be tarot. It's just, that is what I naturally go to, whereas I need to get up earlier and bring in the yoga. I know I really need to do it, and the longer that I don't, the worse that's getting, the harder it is for me to get out of bed, and my body is really crying out for it. But every morning I'm like, oh God, now I've only got time to do my tarot again. I do know a Hatha yoga teacher, and she says, if you do anything in the morning, just do the sun salutation. I mean, if I put that same question to you as a Kundalini yoga teacher, what would you say is the best thing to do every morning if you are on a tight time scale?
Yes, sun salutation, but I think as well, if you want to make it even simpler, just 3 minutes of shaking the body, shaking everything out like you're a kind of rag doll, really shake it, all the stress, shake it out of your body. That for 3 minutes will reset you. It's brilliant. Or you can do these lovely things called spinal flexes, which is what it sounds. You inhale the heart forward, exhale it back. So 3 minutes of that will also really help to, you know, just shape your aura, shape your energetic field, and you know, you can take that through your day. You'll be impervious. It's
Oh,
amazing how it does work. But the sun salutations, they play a part in Kundalini yoga as well. They're probably not as favored as they are in hatha, because there's, I think in Kundalini yoga there's something like 84 million kriyas, which is mind-blowing. And a kriya is a movement or just a practice. So
right.
sitting still and meditating is one kriya. There's 84 million of those. So the shaking is another kriya. The spinal flex is another kriya. That's just 3 we're talking there.
Wow.
So yes, you can do your sun salutations, or you can do something different every day.
84 million. I mean, do we even live that long? I guess.
I know. You'd have to be practicing all day, every day, Tiffany, no sleep.
Exactly my point, right? These are infinite practices. They're like universes in themselves. And then it's like, well, actually, you know, tarot is a universe. It never stops opening up more and more. But, you know, I need something to actually do my body as well. Whereas yoga, you know, is mental, emotional, and physical, you know. So I think that's really important to bring in. Although, like, I have a lot of resistance to the physical, so that is a massive, you know, kind of like even more reason. And there might be people out there that are like, oh, I've got a massive resistance to the physical, or doing so much strong work on myself. Yeah, I guess, what would you say about people that are feeling that might be like, yeah, I really want to do this class, but I'm just like, you know, kind of feeling a little bit like,
But
yeah, a bit like, what is this, like, out of my comfort zone, or completely new to maybe even yoga, let alone Kundalini yoga, you know.
well, we've got so many components that we work with, especially maybe the people who might be tuned into this, in that we have an interest for mind and spirit and the more subtle realms, and the body is obviously the grossest of those realms, so that might explain a little the disinterest in it. But really, we have such a tool at our fingertips here, and with yoga, it's one way of using the body to connect the finite self, that little me, with the infinite self. And it's probably the fastest way that you can connect. So it's not so much about keeping the body fit, although obviously that's a lovely side effect. It's more about using your body to connect with your divine. So if you have resistance to that, I would definitely get over that resistance and just do it anyway. I mean, you know, we have this negative mind that jumps in at the first opportunity. It's the mind that says, oh, I don't want to do that, or I don't trust that, or I can't do that. But right behind the negative mind is the positive mind. If you just push through the negative mind, you'll find your positive mind. And that's the mind that says, yes, I can do this. Life is full of opportunity. That's the mind that can take you forward. So negative mind is helpful because it protects you, but it also keeps you a bit stuck. Move beyond that, because I guarantee right outside that negative mind is a positive. Move into that state and you're fine. You know, it's worth doing it anyway. Just ignore the gripey mind and move into it.
Amazing. And so if somebody did that, if somebody moved through the gripey mind and kind of just for instance, taking your class as an example, and they came on your class, what would be the benefits, or how would they feel afterwards? What would you think?
Well, it's a reset. Any Kundalini yoga that you do, even if it's 3 minutes, you'll notice in this class that we'll do together, it very much takes the healing capacity of the body. It activates that. So you feel really well and balanced on a physical level. But deeper than that, it just gives you a sense of expansion. It really creates space in the body and space in the mind. And working on the heart center, this is the seat of our compassion, not only for other people and forgiveness, not only for other people, but more importantly for ourselves, you know, a real self-love, self-compassion, self-forgiveness. So that's what we're going to be activating here. And it's those states of being that really help us to nurture this physical body and just nurture ourselves and give ourselves an easier time of it, rather than saying, no, I don't want to get up in the morning. You know, it will actually help you to realize that this is a beautiful thing that you're doing for yourself, this physical, but also, you know, spiritual, meditative practice that we'll be sharing.
Speaking about getting up in the morning, is Ayurveda part of Kundalini? Excuse my ignorance.
Yes, it does play a part, yes.
Okay, because I'm looking at doing an Ayurveda cleanse, and I've bought an Ayurveda book.
Yes.
Now I'm back here, I'm finding the damp really difficult. Dry in Spain is really good for me, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm a kapha, or however you say it.
Yes.
I need the hot and the dry, and
yes.
Apparently I need to not sleep so much, which I thought was really interesting, because I could sleep in England, and apparently that's what kaphas do as well, you know.
Oh, such a kapha. Oh, bless you.
I find it so hard, and then it's like, you should go to bed at 11 and get up at 4:30. I'm like, what? 4:30? Like, if you start doing that, you will lose weight. I'm like, oh my God, like that's a really good motivation for me. Like, can I do it? You know, it's like, gosh. But again, it's something that I've set my intention to kind of get into. And I'm going to do an Ayurveda cleanse with a friend of mine after Easter, because she's done it before. And it's the first cleanse I'm going to do where I haven't been shut away from the world, but I feel like I can do it with her, you know. Yes. So I think, you know, all of this is calling massively. And I think more so as time goes on for everyone, I think we're getting more and more in that place of, you know, being tired, being overworked, being, as you say, it's what, you know, kicked off your journey. You know, we get to that place where we're getting so challenged with how our life is that we need to do something. And I think, you know, sometimes it takes a while as well to find how it fits with your life, like you've said, and it's important to not beat yourself up over that as well. So I think the self-esteem thing is really important. It's 11:11, and I know that you have to go.
Yes.
So I will leave it there, and I could talk to you all day, and I really look forward to having you on the Inner Transformation Circle. Guys, it's going to be amazing. So if you haven't signed up, if you're not a member already of the Inner Transformation Circle, just press that button there and it will take you through, and you can come and join us and have an amazingly incredible by the sounds of it. I've been getting the pulse. I don't know if you guys have too. All right. Thank you so much for being here, and see you soon.
Thank you, Tiffy. Thank you so much, everyone. See you.